Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last squad in the day. It's been a hell of a day. It's been very long, but very fun. We have seen a lot of action. We have a lot of action going on, and I have the pleasure to have another guest with me sitting down by my side, coming from Canada, doing a lot of damage to the pins, bowling really, really good. It's spectacular to see you bowl when you, especially when you start moving deep inside. Yesterday, I said this guy is not only powerful in the wrist and looking like a modern style, but the rest of the game reminds me a little bit of old school. Let me introduce you to the people who's listening and watching. Ladies and gentlemen, Mathis Lachette.
Hi
Welcome, buddy.
everyone. Thank you.
Let us know a little bit. You bowled a few squats already. You have been fighting with the lanes and the pattern over and over again, but you have done quite okay. You have fought your way up in some of the squats.
Yeah, I bowled 6 squats and I had difficulties finding something to start, like the first 3 games, and then finally at the last squad, the 6th squad this morning, uh, I found something that works very good and managed to make my place into the finals.
As I said, it looked very solid, especially at the second part of the squad. So that confirms what I was more or less watching through the screens. As soon as the lane seems to become very difficult for everybody, you seem to find your spot and you seem to get more comfortable.
Yeah, because that's what we're used to in Quebec. We have we don't have much oil in the lanes down there, so
Okay, so
that's
you're like me in
I'm used to
Barcelona and
it. Yeah.
Spain. You're used to the dry lanes, and you find your way
Yeah.
to find a way to get the ball to keep the energy for the back of the lane. Um, what do you expect is going to happen during the rest of the week? We still have Friday and Saturday, 4 squats each. So that's 8 squats plus this one we are bowling now. So that's 9 squats. You think the cut's going to keep going a little bit higher? At the very beginning of the week, I was so optimistic. I said maybe it's going to go up all the way to 150 over. Now I'm obviously starting to go a little bit lower. I see people really getting into a lot of troubles. Not that the lanes are impossible. I would say it's very difficult to adapt to some of the changes when you go to the next pair. Sometimes it plays a little bit different. And for some people, there seems to be the biggest issue. They have some problems trying to adapt into those big changes. So what do you think is going to be on the cat, and what do you think it's the biggest problem that people is facing when they do those lane changes?
I think the lanes are very tough, and we have to make moves like 5 times a game, and we have to be careful to make the right moves because sometimes we have to move like 5 board left from
From one frame to
from
the
one
next
frame
shot.
to another. Yeah. I think the cut will be around over 100. I
Hmm.
think that's reasonable. And maybe for step two around 130, something like this.
Okay, so you're going even a little lower also for step two.
Yeah.
You think 130 is going to be enough? What do you have at the moment now? I don't remember.
141 over.
141, so it should give you a spot already on step two.
I hope, yeah.
So you're definitely hoping that I'm completely wrong and the cat doesn't go all the way up
Yeah.
to 150. Otherwise, it's not even step two. um, let's see. You have a guy from Canada also bowling now. We have Nathan. He started quite strong with spare and 7 in a row for a 255. That's a very good beginning. Nathan was doing quite okay on the last squad I saw him bowling this morning. It felt like he found something. He started doing pretty good. He shot 269 on game 5 or 268 on game 5. At the moment, it's the highest score on that particular game, and that is a turbo game, so that could guarantee him a spot in the final. But the way he started this last squad of the night, he may not need that turbo game after all.
I hope he doesn't need it because I know he's the type of bowler to bowl big games and make his place into the finals. He did some changes to ball surfaces. He drilled a new ball to help him around game 3 or 4.
What ball did he drill, if I can ask?
Effector.
Uh-huh. Okay,
So
Victor.
he polished it as well to give it more length. And I think
Went
that's
for a little bit weaker layout, perhaps?
yeah. He went for a 6 inches spin. So
Okay, yeah, so
that's pretty low.
definitely wanting the ball to go longer.
Yeah.
All right. So game one is almost over. Uh, we're gonna have Nathan leading the squad at the moment with 255. Then on his same lane we have Thomas Kaiko, also a Finnish guy bowling from time to time at the PVA. He's gonna shoot 236. But the rest of the field, they seems to be struggling a little bit. I see games of 150, 150, 180, 160, 150 again, 160, 160, 170, 130, 170, 180, 180, 190 on lane 19 and 20, except Eric Jones. Look at the Yannick, unbelievable. The score for Yannick, it's really low at the moment, 92 on the 8th frame. And they're not bad bowlers. I mean, we're talking about super talented people out there in the lanes, and but the pattern is tough. It definitely is demanding.
Yeah, the pattern stuff, and there's some tougher lanes like 15 to 20 and 1 and 2, which has lower score from what I saw previously. And I think a good lane draw is a good thing, but we have to adapt whatever the lane we are bowling on.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we see mostly. I've been seeing that the younger guys seem to have more issues with this pattern, especially the European bowlers. Lately, they are using urethane. I think they take urethane balls even into the shower. They go to bed and they they go to sleep. Instead of a puppy, they grab their urethane ball and go to bed with them.
Yeah.
They get used to just give more and more surface and just move in and shoot it harder. But this pattern is not so much about speed and power. It's a little bit more of control as well. You need the speed, obviously, because otherwise the ball's going to read too early. But you need to be able to control whatever you do with the ball. And I would say some of these younger kids, especially in the European zones, is they are so used to gripping the urethane. They find it very hard to let the ball cross the middle of the lane. They're having a lot of issues to let the ball continue to go a little bit more forward.
Yeah.
Um,
And your thing doesn't look that good on that pattern. I tried it. A lot of people tried it and it doesn't look good. And if we grab the ball, it just hooks at the arrows and there's nothing good.
I believe, from my point of view, at this particular pattern that is played so deep inside in the lane, and especially you cannot move the break point too far outside because then you get into the penalty zone. The ball's gonna skid all the way to the corner. So if you put the urethane ball in this pattern, it's gonna reach so early and from so deep in the lane. Even if you manage to hit the pocket, it's gonna become such a weak angle that you're not gonna carry at all.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, as you said, the lanes are already hooking pretty early, so you don't need a ball that wants to read that soon. On the contrary, you
No,
want something that's going to start reading the latest as possible. And
exactly.
as soon as the games go on, then even more. It becomes more exponential that you want something that retains some energy and doesn't start reading. So I would say weaker cores, weaker covers, higher G, low differential, uh, obviously as polished as you can, so it really goes long on the lane. All right, let's see. We have some new bowlers that just arrived. For example, we have Thomas Kaiko. He had not bowled before. We have Daniel. She just arrived also to bowl this squad for the first time this season in the Lucky Larsen Master. I think she began with 180. We are in the middle of changing from game one to game two, so some of the scores are moved and gone. Uh, Ernesto, for example, Ernesto, he started the first days on the week. He was doing very, very good on the first, especially on game one. He had on the first four squads he bowled, he had like 200 over on just the first game, and he was having a lot of issues on games three and four. Mostly, he drilled as well. He drilled another ball, a weaker ball, more polished. But now, since he has done that, he's been doing a lot better on games three and four. But for some reason, he
He
lost.
struggles game
Yeah,
one.
he lost his touch on the fresh. And I'm watching now, and I see he's got a game of 154. He's already using that ball he drilled for the transition, but it seemed to be a little bit sensitive. So maybe he should go back to the original plan at least for game one, one and a half, and then save that extra polish for a little bit later on. Maybe I should go and ask him later on if I have the chance.
Yeah, Ernesto is a good bowler, so even though he bowled 154, I think, he can climb up to the top of the squad and
Oh yeah,
maybe
he's
make the
really
spot.
talented. He really is a very talented guy. What I like about him is that he stays positive, even if he has a bad day. As soon as he's off the lanes, he kind of tends to forget what went wrong and just want to focus on what's gonna come right after. And when you're at that age, that young, it's nice to see that you can overcome the negativity and just focus on the positive instead.
Yeah, I talked to him a lot this week, and he's a very nice guy. We were together at Guatemala for Pan Am Games as well,
Hmm.
so we've spent the month together.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and
So it became kind of a bit of a friendship over there.
yeah, maybe a start of a new friendship.
Ah, that would be nice. I mean, that's after all. For me, for example, I've been bowling for, I don't know, about 25 years more or less, and now I'm doing more coaching than bowling. But if you ask me, what did you win? What did you? I know I have a lot of titles and medals and stuff, but I almost don't remember any.
No.
What I do remember is the friends you have been doing during the way, and those are the real prizes you get at
Yeah,
the end. I mean, for example, look at me, a guy from Barcelona spending this summer. I spent half of it in Sweden just because I made so many friends up here in Scandinavia during the years, and that is what becomes priceless at the end. All those relations you can form during the years, and then when you need something, you can give a call.
yeah. Bowling is like a big family. We all here to do what we love to for the same thing, and we also try to help each other to become better bowlers, better persons, and that was one of my goals this year to speak to the most people as possible to make new friends, and
That's cool. That's
I
a
think that's
very
important.
wonderful approach, and that tells a lot about you as a person as well. Now, let us know a little bit more about your bowling career. Tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start bowling? Was your family bowling? It just happened because you jumped into a bowling alley. What have you been doing during your career? Let us know a little bit.
Yeah. So my father is working at a bowling center back in Quebec.
Hmm.
So I started bowling like 11 years ago,
Hmm. How old
and
are you now, so people can know?
I'm 20.
20. My
I'm
God,
20
you're
right
so
now.
young. I was talking about Ernesto as he's a young talent, but then you are the same. You are also a young talent.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just this
20.
guys with the glasses and a little bit of a beard. You look a little bit more mature. I would have said 24, 25 at
A
least.
lot of people are guessing like 24.
I'm
Yeah.
really bad at ages anyway, so I'm not the one to trust. 20, my goodness, and you bowl already the way you do. That's pretty good. I had no idea.
So
Carry on.
I've also been on Youth Team Canada for 4 years.
Hmm.
I've been to the World Championship in Sweden in 2022.
Cool.
I've been to the Pan Am Games in Peru and Guatemala, and also the World Championship in South Korea.
Nice.
So those are great events. We meet a lot of people, great experiences, and I think that brought me a lot as a person, but as a bowler too.
Now, any plans to join the PBA Tour in the near future?
I would love to join PBA Tour, but it's quite of expensive to bowl all tournaments
Hmm.
since I live at the very end of Quebec. So I tried to bowl the major ones like the World Series and the Masters.
U.S. Open and stuff like that, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe the U.S. Open too. I'll see what I can afford to bowl. Yeah,
You probably want to go to the high roller then. That pays out very well.
yeah, that's a great pay if you
Even I
finish
made
first.
money at the high roller, so it should be very easy for you to do some money there. It's a lot of brackets going on, and
Yeah,
those pay very well. I remember a lot of bowlers wanted to play those brackets, and they really don't have such a high level because they come from the night leagues over there. They bowl 250 on the night leagues, and then when they bowl in competitive sport, they go 180, 180, 180.
yeah, it's so
But they put
different.
the money on the bracket. So as soon as you make 200 on that first game of the bracket, you get the money back. You make a couple of games of 200 or 210, you make money right away. So for sure, you could sponsor yourself on during the sweepers and all that
Yeah, that's a good plan.
kind of
Maybe.
stuff. Do so, do so. It's going to be a great experience. Uh, I have a I have a very good friend actually in Canada, a bowler. I haven't met with him for perhaps 15 or 20 years. It's been quite a while, I think. We happened to met here in Helsingborg.
Oh,
Uh,
that's nice.
Bill Rowe.
Oh, Belarus, nice. He's a nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He's very funny, very, very kind. We had a lot of laughs back in the day.
Yeah,
And
we were rooming together for the Masters back in Detroit,
mhm.
and that's the first time I saw him. I met him. He's a nice guy.
I saw him on Facebook. I believe was a year and a half ago when he decided to start bowling again and join the
The PBA
senior.
50. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was quite fun. And do you happen to cross paths with him from time to time?
No, I saw him once and it was at the Masters.
No.
I never see him often.
I was gonna say otherwise. Give him a big hug from me. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
do
would have.
through the YouTube channel. Anyone from Canada over there, you have the chance to see Bill. Give him a big hug from the Crazy Luis in Barcelona. Okay, do we have any commentaries on any comments over here in the chat? AB, no one but our hero has a sleeping problem. He should concentrate on his technique instead. I wonder who you're talking about, AB. Let us know if you're still here. Hello, bonjour, Mathis, Televis, Quebec. Nice job. I see you have a
Salut
fan
Pierre.
over there. That's pretty cool. And then we have another one. Go, Nathan.
Yeah, that's Nathan's wife.
Uh-huh.
Hi, Mafe.
Okay, that's cool. Nice to meet you. Your husband is definitely doing a great job. He started with a pretty high game of 255, and now he's got triple and a nine spur, so he's looking strong and good for him. He's bowling also with Thomas Geico, which is a very good bowler. So maybe they both can, help each
Yeah.
other to keep the scoring pace. It's always a little bit easier when you find yourself bowling with somebody that strikes a lot. It kind of carries you a little bit.
Yeah, Nathan was happy to bowl with Thomas because he can gives him a good read on the pairs,
Hmm.
and he's a good friend with him, so he was very happy.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay, I'm gonna check a little bit on the scoring. We have again 40 bowlers on the lane. And this squad started a little bit lower than the previous ones. We have only 8 bowlers above par. We have Nathan on the top spot with 255. Then we have Thomas Geico bowling with him, 236. Then we find Joey from the United States, 223. Eric Jones, 209. Linus from Germany, 207. Santu, former PBA Rookie of the Year from Finland, 203. Then we have a Norwegian guy, Magnus Haram Mittet, 202. The young Italian kid, David Giantomasi, 201. Then we find Robin Ilama. Robin has been having an amazing summer over here in Europe. He destroyed everybody on the European Championships. He got the golden medal. Then a couple, I think it was a week after or a week and a half after, in this bowling center, the under 21 World Cup.
Wow, that's
He
very good.
shot about 230 average or pretty high, but then on the final he destroyed absolutely everyone. He shot 576 on the step ladder in 2 games.
Wow.
That was pretty impressive. The pattern was not like that. Obviously, it
No,
was a pretty different
easier.
pattern. It was a lot of friction on the outside. Everybody was using the purple hammer, and when I say everybody, I mean everybody. Every ball return was packed with it. And and then he flew down to Madrid in the middle of July, and he won an international event there. So he had a very
It's crazy.
successful, very very successful summer. Um, his name is Robin Ilamar, but he has a nickname which is Robin Lilamar, and Lila it's a purple in Swedish. So
That's a good nickname.
that's a good one.
I like it.
Then we have Magnus from Iceland, 195. Timo from Finland, 191. Justin Knowles, 190. And if we want to find the first female, we have to go down to place number 16. That's Danielle McEwan. She just arrived. On the previous squad, we had some people asking on the chat, what do you think Danielle's gonna do when she shows up later on? Well, I said she would probably gonna have some trouble because when you make such a long trip, 20 hours or so, maybe even more than that, it's not easy to sleep on the plane. It's not easy to rest properly on the lane. on the plane. Also, you get kind of dehydrated because the food they serve on the planes, they put a lot more salt. Otherwise, it has
Yeah.
no taste when you are up there. So probably the energy is low. And in such a demanding conditions, you really need to be at your 100%. So I believe, of course, she's super talented and she can do okay. But I said, my prediction was that she would probably spend a little bit more of time trying to do, but if she couldn't do it right away, probably testing a little bit of lines, testing some of the balls, seeing where's the limits, where's the edge, how far out can I go, or how deep inside can I move at any point. So, do you
If,
see anything different?
if first squad after getting off the plane is always to get comfortable, to get a feel on the lanes, to warm up, and I think the best squad to perform is the second quad or third
After
squad.
you have
Wow,
taken
after
a long sleep
yeah.
and you had proper food and you've been on a real bed and not sitting down.
Yeah, I think it's really tough to perform on the first squad after a plane. So
For me, it was in all my career, I think I had never bowled good on the traveling day. Doesn't even matter if it was like 1 hour flight. For me, it was terrible. The traveling day, for some reason, my brain was not there. Not that my brain functioned very good even the day after, but the day of traveling, it was completely impossible to perform.
the travel is exhausting. So I get it if you don't bowl good after traveling.
And I believe
That's
nowadays
normal.
it's even worse because now you have to be 3 hours before the flight, and then you have to
Yeah.
wait for the luggage, and then you have to wait for the taxi, and then you have to wait for so many things. Not easy. Shall we go back to the scoring? Lanes 13 and 14 is where we find Nathan and Thomas. Nathan made a triple, two spares and a strike again, and Thomas is front six, so they seem to feel themselves quite in a comfortable spot at the moment.
That's very good.
Then we have AJ Johnson on lane 3 and 4. Now he's doing a little bit better. Strike, spare, and a triple. But again, he started with a low game of 160. He seems to be struggling a lot with game number one.
Yeah, I think his ball reaction was a bit too quick. He had a lot of splits, so open frames. It's a lot of pins missed there.
A little bit as I recalled on Ernesto, it felt like the ball was a little bit too sensitive
Yeah.
for the moment. It's hard because you really don't want to get any surface on the ball. You really don't want to get anything that's gonna read too early. But after all, game one it's fresh. So
Game one is very tricky.
game one is fresh. It's tricky. You don't want something that is too responsive because then it's hard to control. Any little difference on your release, any little difference on your speed, and then it's not gonna pay out properly.
Yeah. What I did for the fresh is something I found yesterday. I took an asin ball to make it stop at the back end
Hmm.
and put some compound on it, so it's
Okay.
not as sensitive as polish, and it's giving more traction.
Hmm.
So I think that's the best option I had for the fresh.
It sounds good. Sounds good. I mean, you you need to find, and that's a good thing when you can bowl many different squats. You need to find something that settles down for every situation you're gonna confront later on during the day. So the fact that you can bowl a few more squats, and instead of getting angry and losing your temper and just throwing away the rest of the day, even if you have a very bad squat, just keep on going, keep on trying, keep on learning on the situations you're facing. See if you can move. For example, a very good example is Ethan Fury. He shot three squats over 1300,
Yeah.
and the three of them he bowled completely different. The first one, he was not lofting the ball at all. It was just rolling it. He was doing pretty much nothing. It was a very weak release in a way to call it. Then his second squat, he said to me that he felt like the lanes have to burn up a little bit more than when he did his first high scoring of 170 over. So he started doing a little bit of lofting, and he's got that score is currently the highest of the tournament with 193 over. But then we just saw him bowling again on the previous squad, but he took a complete different approach. He grabbed a urethane ball. He was standing on the board number 10, more or less, and he was bowling completely straight on board number 10.
Wow.
And he was lofting it. And that, for me, that was the first time that I see somebody lofting a urethane bowling straight on the second arrow.
Th-
And he has done a lot. I mean, after 5 games, he was 150 over. He just lost a little bit of reaction on game six. He shot 150, but I think he didn't care anymore. He grabbed a lot of information. Um, I was hoping I could catch another interview and ask him, but in my mind, I suppose what he was doing, he was trying to find out, is there another solution that I can bowl, or
Yeah,
is
cause
there another way I can still perform okay if my A plan doesn't work and my B plan doesn't work? Can I still have a C plan?
that's a lot
Um,
of tools you can have for finals. If something doesn't work, you have a plan B, as good as the first one, but very different.
it was impressive, I must say. This kid does it very, very good. He's super talented, but he surprised me a lot when he was doing that. When I saw him on the warm up, I'm like, okay, it looks like he's trying something different. I thought it was going to be just for fresh. But then he kept going and going, and he bowled the 6 games. I believe it's the Tangram Pesh, I think it's called, that 7800s motif urethane ball.
I don't know.
Me neither. It's I believe it's that one. I'm not sure, but it definitely was urethane. He was bowling completely straight on the second arrow, but he was doing a lot of strikes again. And well, for you, it must be a motivation, right? To see a guy more or less from your generation doing that good.
Ethan is a very good player. Uh, he's a motivation for sure. I watch him bowl pretty every tournament he does. Um Also, all the PBA Pro Bowlers are motivation.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
that's that's different level.
Okay, if we go back to your friend Nathan over there, he managed to make another strike, so he's now on his pace for already in the 230s. If he strikes out, he's going to go for 260. That would put him on 120 over for 2 games, which is really impressive. And then we have Thomas bowling with him, also on a pace. If he strikes out for 279, would put him on 115 over. It looks like the two of them are bowling something different than the rest of the field. We have some people doing okay, but they were not doing okay on game one. So it's a little bit of a mess. For example, AJ Johnson, as we said, he started with 160, but now he's got 6 in a
He's
row,
doing very good. Yeah.
trying to work for a potential 280.
I think everyone has a lower game where the transition doesn't fit as good uh, with with their game, and I didn't see any bowlers who didn't have a low game around 200 or more or less.
I think the only one who's been surviving to get these low games, it was Ethan so far.
Yeah.
Everyone else at some point you end up having some pair that it's gonna become super tricky, and you need to try to do your adjustments. And if you don't do the adjustment quick enough, or you're not right at the first attempt, and then you can easily get a big split, and then it's very tough to overcome and come back to the par. So we see a lot of we've seen a lot of squads with people shooting 240, 240, 160, 210, 220, 160 again. Stuff like that happening all day long, all week long, I should say.
Yeah, that's easy to bowl 150 game because pairs are so different from one to another. It depends what the bowlers you did before you arrived there,
Mm.
and
It's a little bit of a lottery at some point when, okay, who am I following?
yeah,
What is he doing with the lanes? Is he gonna Let me say it that way. Is he gonna fuck up the lanes every time I go after him, or is he gonna make the lanes a little bit easier for me? And that is one of the fights I've been having for the last, I would say, 10, 15 years with the bowling community. Back in the day, we used to bowl a little bit different, not only in technique and stuff, but the formats of the tournaments back in the day, they used to bowl at least 2 games per pair. At
Yep.
some of the big events, it was even, I remember in the late 80s, early 90s, many of the tournaments were not 6 games, it was 8 games. And some of them it was 4 games in one pair, 4 games in the next pair. When it was 6 games, it was 3 games in that pair and 3 games on the next pair. And people usually tells me, yeah, but if you find yourself on a bad pair, then you have to stay there for 3 games. In a way, yes, but how many times you gonna find after 100 days? You're not gonna be 90 days on the bad pair. It may
No.
happen maybe 10 times instead of 90. And on the other hand, even if you find yourself on a top pair, you have 30 frames to find out how to bowl that pair. You have a lot of time to find a solution. And sometimes when you only bowl 1 game, by the time that you find the solution, you have to go
You have
away.
to
You have to
switch, yeah.
skip it and switch again, and then it's like, fuck, I found it too late. And that is one of the modern bowling rules I kind of disagree a little bit. I On that particular matter, I would go back into the past and I would make at least bowl 2 games on each pair. Another thing that would happen if we bowl 2 games on the same pair is that the bowling rhythm would be a little bit faster because you don't change lanes so often. So you skip a couple of minutes that every time you have to change lanes. And the bowling alleys, I don't know in Quebec and Canada, but in the south of Spain, the bowling alley proprietors or owners, they care about the money. They care
Yeah.
about the income. And usually open bowling pays a lot more than sport bowling does. So if you're bowling for 6 hours instead of 7 hours,
That's
it
that's
makes more
that makes a
sense,
difference.
right?
I don't think there's a perfect format. I think everyone has their opinions on what they prefer or what they don't like.
Hmm.
I think bowling 1 game on a pair is all right because it forces the good bowlers to adapt and
It forces you to do it quicker.
yeah,
I expect, yeah.
and that's where we see the good bowlers. They are adapting faster.
You just
They,
called me a bad boy because I
no, no, no. That's not what I'm saying.
I require 2 games or 4 games in order to read the lane. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. No, no, I understand. I
But I
understand what you
think
mean.
that's one of the way that good bowlers are demarking themselves.
Also, the difference from the older days, I believe it's when I started bowling, it was wooden lanes. It wasn't synthetic yet, so it
Yep.
was. I remember on those days, the local bowler he had some kind of advantage to the other ones because the topography was so different in
Yeah.
every lane. I remember bowling back in Barcelona. I would be bowling in this pair and then move to the next pair. And before I made the first shot, I would already move left or move right because I knew this next pair was longer or shorter. Was you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And since the synthetic lanes came onto bowling, that is not that exaggerated as it was.
No.
Obviously, topography is still a big factor, a lot bigger than amateur bowlers understand, I believe. Uh, Everybody used to blame the oil man or, oh, this pair, what did they do with this pair because it hooks 10 times more than the other one, or what did they do with this pair because it hooks 10 times less? Well, actually, if it hooks 10 times more and they just made the lanes, it's not the lanes, it's probably it's not the oil, it's probably the topography.
Yeah.
So topography obviously is still a factor, but I think back in the past it was even a bigger factor than it is today due to they had to resurface the lanes over and over again. I don't know if you've seen any of that.
I didn't get the chance to bowl on wood lanes, but
It was fun.
it probably was fun, yeah.
It was fun, and
And
and the ball reaction was weaker. there was a weaker ball reaction. I remember when they put the synthetic lanes in the bowling center. I bowled in Barcelona, and the first shot I did, the ball at the back end was like, choom, like probably 10 to 15% bigger friction, and it was like, okay, let me try again on the button lane. Yeah, very smooth reaction at the back end. So that was the first thing I realized when I moved into synthetic lanes. It was IMF, like the surface we have in here, which is quite a lot of friction on it.
Yep. It is. And wood lanes were very sensitive to temperature.
Yes,
I believe it was softer, that making it create a lot of friction at the back end.
and the other thing that was happening a lot with button lanes is that open bowling would destroy them pretty much. I mean, when they
Yeah.
get the thumb stuck and the ball would fly up to the moon, and you could walk there to the foul lane and see a
And
huge
and
amount
you
of
see a ball jumping when you throw it
yes,
again.
yes. Okay, Thomas Kaiko and Nathan, they are sitting with 88 over for Nathan, 103 over for Thomas. That's quite high scoring for the beginning. Robin is back on track, 256, so
That's good.
he's 55 over at the moment. We just have a couple of guys about to end game two, so we will refresh the scores in a couple of minutes and we will give you a proper standing and proper ranking of this squad. I'm not sure we're going to be doing commentary the whole squad because it's been a very long day. We started 9 o'clock in the morning and we're going to start 9 o'clock in the morning again. Now it's 10 in the night. So it's been 13 hours talking, and
That's a long day.
my tongue starts to be a little bit exhausted. I'm running out of words. I'm definitely running out of guests. And but if you people are watching and you want to ask something to my buddy over here, Matisse, feel free. If you want to ask me, same thing. We're gonna be with you for one more game, and then obviously we're gonna let Matisse go because he still have to compete for the rest of the weekend. It's a long way to go, and we don't want to abuse. You have to
It's all right.
you have to have a proper rest, a proper night's sleep.
Yep.
Any jet lag left?
No, the jet lag was pretty okay. It's 6 hours difference from Quebec,
Hmm.
but I'm kind of used to travel,
Okay,
and I don't very
so
sense it.
you adapt quite fast to
Adapt
that.
quick.
For me, it was a lot easier to travel to the other side of the Atlantic. I worked eh, nearly 15 years as a DJ, nightlife. So going
Wow.
to United States or Canada or Brazil or whatever, it's for me it was perfect. It's okay, finally I can see to get I get to see the sun and I don't feel sleepy at all. It's like on the proper. On the other hand, every time we had to bowl like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore,
It's
it
like
was
8 hours.
terrible. Yeah, 8, 7, 9 hours too early, and I'm like, oh my god, this is way too early. It's even earlier than I should be on the daylight. So sometimes it was even easier to just stay awake to skip one day fully, skip one fully day. Fun story. I remember once bowling in Las Vegas. We were saying before about the sweepers and the high roller and so. Uh, I found quite a cheap ticket from Barcelona to Las Vegas, but it took me forever. I flew Barcelona, Madrid, Madrid, Amsterdam, Amsterdam, Detroit, Detroit, Orlando,
Wow.
Orlando, Las Vegas. Yeah.
That's
So
a
I
long
was
trip.
circling around the globe. And by the time I got to Las Vegas, I was exhausted, but it was not late enough to go straight to bed. And my best friend over there, it was Arturo Quintero, you know,
I know him, yeah.
another crazy guy, even more crazy than I am. So he says to me, "Cuñado, vámonos de fiesta. Let's go party. So you stay awake for a little longer, and you can grab the proper timing." So we went out. We went to party. You know those casinos. You have no windows, so you have no idea
Yeah,
if
that's
the sun is
casinos
coming
everywhere,
out
yeah.
or the sun is not coming out. So we started having fun and having fun and having fun. And by the time we realized maybe we should stop the party have a proper rest. It was already too late. so, so even if I've been traveling for 30 something hours, I couldn't catch the right time. I went to bed on the wrong time. I ended up going to bed at the same time as if I was back in Europe. So it took me a couple of days to adjust
To recover, yeah.
after that. Yeah, funny stories from back in the day. Let's check on the scoring. We have the freshman already. We have Thomas Kaiko on first place with 103 over. Not so bad. Then we have our friend Nathan with 88 over. Then we have Robin Ilamar from Sweden, 55 over. Then we see Mario from Italy, 426. 423 for Joey, United States, 420 for Quentin from France, 18 over for Eric Jones, United States, Adam Anderson, 10 over. AJ Johnson, after a game of 247, he managed to go back into par. Now he's 7 over. And number 10, that's the last spot with 200 average. That's Dennis Linhardt from Germany, 405. Looking down to the first lady, at the moment it's going to be Lova Nilsson from Sweden with 370, so she's 30 below. And she's going to have to start striking a little bit and go a little bit high because there is a couple of spot saves for the girls we can see over here. At the moment
Yep.
is Emma Haltunen and Nora Johansson, both of them with 27 over. What do you think about Nora?
She's a good bowler. She had a good season on tour. Was her first year on tour, I believe,
Yes,
and I think she did pretty good.
she's got a lot of talent for sure. It's not that many, at least in Europe, not that many girls who bowl two hands yet. What about Canada?
I don't think there's any. There's a lot of bowler anywhere on the planet two-handed as girl. I think she's one of the best, and she will continue to be one of the best from years.
It's going to be interesting to see what goes on in the following years. See if
Yeah,
we see more girls starting to bowl two hands, or it's just going to remain on the boys' side
I think it will come. Yeah,
eventually, right?
yeah, because we see more two-handers than one-handed.
Oh, definitely, especially on the younger
Yeah,
generations. Now it's a complete switch.
yeah,
Was doing a camp a little bit north in Sweden a couple of weeks ago, and everyone was under 15.
it was two hands.
Nobody bowled one hand anymore. Nobody, absolutely no one. And the smaller they are, the more it feels like natural for them.
A few years ago, bowling two-handed was special, but I think in a couple of years, bowling with one hand
One
will be
hand is going to
special.
be the. Yeah. I said that this morning we were talking with Magnus Jonsson, ex Swedish coach, and that was one of the things that it looks to me like 5 or 10 years from now, the one-handed is going to be the new lefty.
Yeah,
He's going to be bowling on his own out there, bowling on fresh. Everyone with two hands is going to be a little bit deeper because of the rev rate, and so it might be the case. It might be the case. Okay, let's see. Where did our friends move? Uh, let's find a lot of strikes, and maybe we'll find them, right?
18.
Oh, 7 and 18. That's a little bit more of a tougher pair. It hasn't been playing so high, so it's going to be interesting to see what Thomas and Nathan managed to do on this game, and especially game 3 and 4. It's when the lane really starts to change a little bit more drastically, right?
Yep. I had a lot of troubles on 17 and 18. The ball was hooking very early.
Hmm.
I think I was bowling on 14 before. It was so big of a difference.
Yeah, I've been told that lanes 13 and 14 usually are the ones that feel like faster, a little bit like if they had a little bit more oil, usually on this bowling center. So
Yeah,
if you jump from 13, 14 to 17, 18, it
it's a
kind of
it's a
feels
big
even
difference.
more of a step.
Yeah.
And actually, that ball we just saw from Nathan, it went a little bit into Brooklyn. I really don't know if he made a mistake or maybe the lane is already changing and it's going to force him to start moving. As you said, every couple of couple of frames, you need to jump deeper and deeper.
I think missed left on that shot.
It takes a spare, which is the right thing to do.
Yep.
Now let's have a look at Thomas. Let's see what he's doing. And I'll keep an eye also on our number 3 spot, which is Robin Nilamar, is now on lane 13 and 14. He is started with a spare and a double. And who else was doing okay? We had Mario with 26 over, started with 180 and 245 on the second one. So, where are you, Mario? So many names at the end, I end up losing some of them.
Yeah, it's hard to see everyone at the same time.
Oh, Mario and 7 and 8 strikes per strike. Okay, let's focus on Thomas in lane 18. He's quite deep, that's for sure. No, he missed in. It's not that deep then.
Yeah.
Missed inside as well. And that is the other issue when you're doing the online streaming. If you try to follow too many at the same time,
Yeah, that's hard.
you get a little bit lost. And then when you try to see someone in particular, when they release the ball, is he too deep or did he miss? You don't know for sure until you see the ball reaction. And that's what happened on that last shot while I was talking about Thomas Keiko.
Because the lane looks so small on the screen and
Mm.
you don't really see where it's going.
Ooh,
That was close.
enough. Spare for Robin also in lane 13 and 14. So looks like the score pace is slowing down a little bit, but it has been happening every single squad on games 3 and 4. Previously we had a very kind guy over there. I have a question. Who is commenting with me? It's Matisse Blanchette from Canada. He has been bowling. He has been doing okay. 20 years old from Quebec. Very good bowler, super talented. I thought he was a little bit older. I just found out he's 20. I thought he was about 25. But if you haven't seen him, we have every single squad. It's on the YouTube channel, so you can find some of the previous squads he has bowled. Very powerful release, a lot of rev rate, a lot of speed, but a very nice technique, balance, and talking about the body language. It reminds me a little bit of old school, but with every good and positive thing on the modern bowling. So that is who's sitting by my side at the moment. Thanks for asking. I see you have some more talks over there. I think it's a French
Yeah,
flag over
it
there,
means
right?
let's go, Katai.
Uh-huh. It's good that I have you here because then we can add French. I've been using
I
Catalan,
can translate.
Spanish, English, and Swedish. Now we're just adding a little bit of French as well.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more international, so it's fun. I've been watching every squad. He has a nice throw, so he has you already.
Thank you, I
He
appreciate
has
it.
you already under the eye. Okay, 17 and 18. You already said those pairs are a little bit tougher.
Yep.
And it could be the case. We have Thomas Keiko with 103 over after 2, but no strikes yet. Just 8 spare, 9 spare, 9 spare, and 9 spare. for the fans of Daniel McEwen, she's currently bowling on lane 1 and 2. Uh, People interesting to see on those pair. Uh, no one's really scoring that high. So yes,
Yep.
yes, we are on game 3. Oh, that's something new. On lane 15. He's bowling back up, but single-handed.
Yeah, he was doing that this morning too. I talked to him and he said he's doing pretty good backup and he's been practicing it.
Hmm.
That's a good tool to have when you can bowl backup because sometimes the transition on the right part of the lane are a bit tricky. And
I I would add that to my tools of bowling, but my wrist is not flexible enough. As soon as I stay like this, it starts hurting. So if I have to even more,
but that's easier to do when you bowl two-handed because with one hand you have the thumb restrictions, so it's really not easy to be consistent.
no. But that's why I was surprised because this guy has been
He's
doing
doing it with the thumb, yeah.
with the thumb in. That's even that puts me back into when I was really, really, really small, like 3 or 4 years old. There was a I'm not gonna remember her name. There was a woman that was a world champion, and she bowled backup
Wow,
with the thumb in. But now we are talking
that's way
black and
back.
white bowling. Black and white bowling, definitely. Okay, Nathan was unlucky on this shot. He was a little bit deep in the pocket. He got the solid 9. He could have definitely could have fallen. But the only thing they want to do when they have already 103 over and 88 over is stay out of
It's, yeah,
trouble. Stay on the safe, bowl smart. If that pair is not so friendly with you, just leave alive. Did you see on lane 20 we have again the 6 and the 9?
that happened a lot
A
this week.
lot, yeah. This week I've been seeing that at least once per squad.
I've been doing it. I think it was first squad I went 2 and 4 after. So
Oh, that's expensive.
yeah,
A frame of
that's a
2 and
bad
4,
frame.
yeah. That is a very hard one to overcome.
Yeah,
A frame of 2 and 4. I hope it was not after a double.
no, it was not after a double.
Yeah, at least. Otherwise, it makes you even more angry. AJ Johnson also bowling on 19 and 20.
He's doing better.
Okay, let's see Thomas on lane 18. Same thing as a previous shot. He missed a little bit in. Could be my impression, but on this shot it kind of reminds me of when you find that situation. Usually, for amateur bowlers that bowl in a little bit easier patterns that I coach on, they usually ask me, when do you move left? How soon do you move left? Um, I usually tell them because they're not bowling on flat, they're bowling on kind of easy patterns, so they usually need to have room both outside and inside. As soon as you miss one board to the left and the ball doesn't hold, that's a wake-up call already. Time to
Yeah.
move. Uh, if you're shooting quite okay, but you have weaker soft tens, weak tens, change ball. Go for something that goes a little bit longer, or same thing, move a little bit in so you can find a little bit more of oil and let the ball go a little bit longer. But usually, and why am I saying that? Because even it was quite obvious that he missed a little bit in, but maybe
Maybe he could move
he
left.
could move already a little bit as well for Thomas because the ball didn't feel like it gave him any any extra hold on the left on the miss. Ernesto is not having fun today either. He's gonna ask me not to watch him anymore. Every time I look, he's got a split.
And I think it's last squad. He bowled already 8 squads,
Ooh,
and he told me that's that's his last.
for good or for bad, yeah.
Yeah. Let's hope he make it through U21 cut.
Yeah, that's true. He should be smart enough and try to
Because I
go for
think he
that one.
went plus 51 squad. It might be good.
Let's see what's the standings at the moment. See if I can find. Just checking on the totals results. Those are the seniors, 12:29 and 11:49. And those are the under 21 at the moment, 12:41 and 12:30. So he needs to do
I don't think it's good. His score was
12:50.
good enough then.
He needs 12:50 at least.
I don't know if he has his score in the cut right now, but
12:22 he had
okay,
over here, 12:22. So it
that's
was
not enough.
8 pins short.
Yeah,
So he's gonna have to go for it on this one. Let's go back. Thursday 9 o'clock. That's the one. Robin Hilamar managed to double again on lane 13 and 14. And Nathan, let's see. That was a very good
that's
shot.
good.
Nice. Another double for him. Let's see if Thomas moves a little bit in or he just makes a little bit of a better shot. I think he's going to move deeper. At least I would move a little bit deeper, right?
I think it will.
It looked like he moved a little bit, but the ball ended up at the same spot.
Yeah.
It's not fun when you find yourself in that situation, right? You try and try and try. It could be maybe, I think it was Joachim Karlsson. He was sitting here earlier today, and he said that every time I did small moves, it didn't pay out at all.
No.
I have to do a big move. And now I'm wondering, is Thomas, because it's his first squad, after all.
It's his first
It's
squad.
the first
He
squad
just arrived.
in this season. He just arrived. So is he playing a little bit of safe because he's already on 103 over? Maybe he made a small adjustment and not big enough. That's a good spare.
Because the pairs I've been struggling on to make it work. I had to move like 10 boards left to have a good ball reaction.
10 boards from one game to the other. It sounds a little drastic, but
Yeah.
as you mentioned, it's the only way you make it happen and you make it work.
Yeah.
Anders says, I have seen Daria Payak play backup,
Yeah, she made a video on Instagram playing backup.
but was it competition or just Instagram?
The one I saw was in practice
Instagram.
only. I didn't see her in competition.
Anders, let us know. Did you see her on Instagram or did you see her on any competition? And it was using the thumb, I guess,
Yep, using the thumb.
but not giving as many rep rates as she does when she bowls normal.
No, not as much, but it was quite good.
Quite decent. I'm gonna have to check it out. Now you made me curious about that. How do you get into the tournament? Oh, well, you have to fly all the way to Sweden or fly to Copenhagen, which is the easiest way to get into Helsingborg. On the same airport of Copenhagen, you have a train that takes you directly to Helsingborg in about 78, 79 minutes. And once you get to Helsingborg, and at the moment it would be impossible to play in the event because every single squad left is completely full, fully booked. But for next year, I believe you pretty much can start. You can start booking already some of the squads, or make sure that you make it soon enough so you don't run out of spots. But it's a PBA event open to anybody who wants to bowl. You don't really have to be a PBA member. The only difference is if you're not a PBA member and you win the event, you don't get an official PBA title. You win the event. You can always tell your family and your friends,
Yeah.
I beat the PBA guy, so for me it's a PBA title. But only if you are a member of the PBA tour, you're going to be granted as an official PBA winner. But that's pretty much it. The only thing you have to do is bring your balls, bring your shoes, bring some money to pay the entry fees, and just join us. So, Landon, any other questions? We are here. Feel free to ask. Okay, Nathan spared the split, but I
Yeah, it
did not
was a
see
6 and 7. It's pretty
six
good
and
spare.
seven. Wow, that is a beautiful save. Aye, Thomas is not so comfortable in this pair. He's managing to save the sparings. So only one strike in 8 frames. And that can also get a little bit on your brain when you have been shooting 100 over in the first two, and then you only get one strike in 8 frames. You can start doubting yourself, like, what is happening? What am I doing wrong? Should I change something? Nice shot by Nathan now, strike on the ninth, preparing the end of the game. And Robin Ilnama in lane 13 and 14. It's finishing with another solid game of 237, sitting now with 92 over.
92 after 3 is very good.
It's a very good scoring pace. But as I said, he already has won a lot this summer. He has already won a lot in this bowling alley. Uh, Former Team Sweden at the moment is one of the very young, talented, and capable to win. It's a lot of good bowlers up here in Sweden. A lot of talented kids. And all this new generation inspired by Jesper. They all bowl in two hands, but they are really strong. They do it very, very good. It looked like a changeable for Thomas. Looked a little bit different color.
I didn't see a ball.
Hard to
I
say on
think
TV.
the line was
He moved the
better.
line. Definitely, the line was different than the previous shots, but it looked like the ball was a little bit more red. Maybe it's just me. I'm too many hours watching screens. but yet no strike. That's a working class game, working class hero working on that game.
That's a good spare percentage.
Absolutely.
Can still shoot 200, so it's not that bad.
No, no. If your bad game is a 200 game, it's very good news.
On this pattern, it's good.
AJ, two doubles and a triple to make 201 with a couple of open frames, but he was bowling on 19 and 20, so he can put it on the pocket and focus on the next one. Not a very high score, 608, so he's gonna need a pretty high ending of the squad. The next three games need to get a
Yeah.
little bit higher, otherwise it's not gonna be easy for him. And not so many people over par anymore. I see no one on the first four lanes. Only Robin and Adam Anderson from 13 to 15 and 16. And on those pair 17 to 20, if we don't talk about Nathan and Thomas, we only have AJ Johnson with 8 over par. Um, yeah, the scoring pace is going down. I'm wondering how many people's gonna survive over par after game 3. It looks like it's gonna be 5 or 6 bowlers, not more. Anders says training. It would be fun to see her here, but she needs to practice on her spares. Okay. You should send her a private message on Instagram. Let her know. Maybe less practicing on the backup, more practicing on the sparing. But I'm not going to be the one saying because I haven't seen Daria for quite a while now. Last time we met, it was the Ball Expo in Vegas a couple of years ago. And she can bowl, that's for sure. Maybe
Yeah.
she has not achieved as much as her potential, would say, but she can bowl.
Yeah, she throws it very nice. A lot of rev rates on the gal side.
She's very good at using the elbow.
Yeah.
Okay, I see another. Uh, nah, it's not really over par. Santu. He chose 615 on the score on 9 and 10, but he's got already 17 counting from this game. So
Yeah.
it's going to be 598. Yannick is 100 on the par already. Nice job by Eric Jones, 661. So Eric had 209, 209, so that means he shot 240 on this game. 243 to be precise. That's a good game. I did not see him. I don't know where he was bowling. I skipped from my sight. Nathan, strikeout. Good job.
Doing good
237
again.
all the way up to 725. That is a very good score after 3 games. Very, very good
Wow.
score. It's going to put him on the lead. And now we're going to have to see if Thomas can double or triple on the 10 frame to at least make 200 and stay also on 100 over par. And I believe after this game, we're going to stop
Yeah, sure.
the commenting for today. We're going to take a big, big pause until tomorrow morning. The cameras will go on. The sound of the bowling alley will go on. But I will not go any longer. I'm a little bit tired, and tomorrow is going to be as long as today. Anders says I don't have Instagram, so how did you see her training? I'm just curious. Um, As I was saying, it's been a very long day. We have a long day ahead tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, and I want to try to keep some energy for what's yet to come. But thank you everybody who's been watching. Thank you everybody who's been talking to us on the chat, and especially thank you to my guest.
Thank you for
It's
having me.
it's been a pleasure. Good to know you a little bit better and talk a little bit the bowling. Wish you the best of luck on the rest of the tournament,
Thank you.
and we'll be watching and
I appreciate it.
following. Thank you
Thanks
so
for the
much, buddy.
support.
Appreciate. So now we're gonna say goodbye, everybody. As I said, action carry on. The cameras are gonna stay on. We see everybody tomorrow. Feel free to keep on talking. It's more people watching, so you can talk to each others. Thank you. That's all for today from Olympia Bowling in Helsingborg. Storm Lucky Larsens Masters 2025. Good night, everybody.